Hey kitties, what up, what up? Welcome to Primal Scream. This is your host, Nick Graystone. For the next hour, we're going to talk about fantasy, reality, and everything in between. Let's go.
Hey kitties, what up, what up? Another episode of Primal Scream, and I am your host, Nick Graystone. Kitties, I got to tell you something. I'm sorry. I lied. Remember when I said that I would never go astray and never go not live again? Well, due to unseen circumstances, I do have to cheat on you and prematurely, I'm not going to say ejaculate, but come early, I guess, which is the same thing. So here I am doing this episode a little bit early, but it's going to air on the same day. And I didn't, you know what, I didn't even have to tell you, but I try to feel that honesty is the best policy because I lie so fucking much. So, how you guys doing? I'm great. I had an awesome weekend. This is a very exciting episode because I do have two special guests that are in the studio with me, but I'll bring those people out in a short while. But this weekend was an awesome event that I went to. But before I get into that, the Reaper came a-knocking, and he claimed 3 more lives this weekend. And it's ones that kind of hit home for me. I mean, I'm going to say that I'm a fan of each of these actresses. I'm going to start off with Lara Parker. She passed away at the age of 84. Now, Lara Parker played Angelique in Dark Shadows, and from what I really know her as is Dr. David Banner's wife in the Incredible Hulk TV series. I grew up watching that. That is my Hulk. Through the years, they have done different reenactments of the Hulk, whether it be like movies and such, but definitely Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno are the Hulk in my wheelhouse. And, and his whole rage came from that accident that lost his wife in the TV show. And that's, Lara Parker played that character. She was in a lot of the flashback sequences and stuff when he had the good life before he shot himself up with the gamma rays and went nuts. And I got to tell you that little side note on the Incredible Hulk. Now, when I was a kid, certain things scared me. Dogs were one of them, and Dr. David Banner's eyes when he would transform into the Hulk would scare the shit out of me. The music, I just remember this story. Back, my mom used to tell it all the time because I was a little rambunctious fuck. Jumping around, jumping out of windows, running down the block naked, doing all kinds of crazy shit. So me and my mother and my grandmother were in Macy's one day, and she was like shopping, and obviously I was doing my thing, but then all of a sudden, like I was tied to her hip, and she's like, "What's the matter with this kid? Why is he tied to my hip right now?" Well, it turns out that there was like a doppelganger for Bill Bixby that was in Macy's. And I was scared that I was going to piss this guy off and he was going to have albino eyes and then all of a sudden turn into this green monster and like kick the shit out of me. So I played it cool. So, that's my little story for the Incredible Hulk. And rest in peace, Lara Parker. The next person that passed away was Suzanne Somers. She passed away at the age of 76. Those of you who know her, she became famous from Three's Company and also Step by Step. I did not notice. I know she did have breast cancer and she battled for quite some time, but it was 23 years that this woman fought an aggressive breast cancer. So I hope she's at peace. Suzanne Somers was beautiful, gorgeous woman. She like I said, she came to her fame with Three's Company, and then she thought that she was actually the star of the show, and she wanted more money, and she held out. And just like Hollywood does, they will always replace you And that's what they did. And they replaced her with Priscilla Barnes. So not sure how many seasons that she was in Three's Company, but I don't think it was that many. It was 6? Yeah. 6. Thanks, Tony.
You need useless information? I'm here for you, pal.
There we go. So 6. So how many seasons actually was Three's Company?
I'm going to say like 9
7?
or 10 or something. Yeah, right, probably.
After Suzanne Summers
No, I only know that because I was watching, when the news came out. So I was about her passing. I just happened to see that. And also, speaking about her cancer, I saw a clip of her. She had breast cancer 3 times while she was still on that show.
Really?
Yeah. So she's been battling. She was battling it a long time. Yeah.
Wow. She was a fighter then, man. So yeah, rest in peace, Suzanne Summers. And the next one, this one stung a little bit. Those of you who know me know that this woman was one of my favorite characters of all time. Piper Laurie. She died at the age of 91 from natural causes. She was a 3-time Oscar-nominated actress. She first got nominated back in The Hustler with Paul Newman. Her second nomination I'm going to get back to, but then her third nomination was Children of a Lesser God. The one that I'm talking about now is, of course, she was Margaret White in Carrie. And that role, like when people morph into a character, you don't look at that person ever the same. And I never looked at Piper Laurie ever the same after that, seeing her and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's Margaret White. It wasn't Piper Laurie, because that movie, as much as Sissy Spacek was like the main character, Margaret White, Piper Laurie drove that movie. Every scene that she was in was a scene stealer. She was nominated. The things that came out of her mouth, like I said, if you know me, you know that I quote this movie very often. And if some of you have been lucky enough for me to grab you and put you in my bosom and stroke your hair and say, now get in the closet and pray, my child, and pray, and smell the Roadhouse whiskey on my breath, and he took me and I liked it, and all that crazy shit that came out of that woman's mouth. But yeah, Margaret White, one of the best horror characters, well, in my opinion. So I never, I do post that I go to these conventions and stuff, and for some reason I never met her. She always would be at a convention where I had a conflict of interest where I couldn't go or whatever. And this past summer, they booked her at Monster Mania, and then about a week before, she was too ill to travel, and they canceled. So it's a shame, because I thought I was going to get my chance to meet her. But rest in peace, Piper Laurie. So again, this weekend was all about the Famous Monsters convention. I'm actually rocking the shirt right now. This is an awesome T-shirt that my friend made, Chris Ott. He put the layout out on it, and it's the famous Bark at the Moon Ozzy print. And this weekend was so awesome because it was a new convention. Like I said, my friend Chris, he's been hustling with his shirts and his prints for years, Monster Heel and London 1888. And he just teamed up with Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Eben McGar, and they put together, they revamped Famous Monsters. Now, Famous Monsters is a magazine that's been in circulation for a while. They're going to start putting it out again, but now they're doing conventions, and there was a star-studded lineup. I met a bunch of people that were pretty awesome. I love doing the photo ops, and Famous Monsters raises the bar with these photo ops, because what they do is they put you with a green screen, and they put like a cool image of the person that you're meeting. So the first photo that I did that weekend was David Patrick Kelly. Now, this guy's been on my my list for years. He's been in a lot of movies. He's definitely well known for his role in The Warriors, as Luther in 48 Hours. He was in Dreamscape. My personal favorite, Ford Fairlane with Dice Clay. And I actually got into a conversation with him that I forgot, because I was so caught up with meeting Ozzy, that I forgot my Ford Fairlane poster, and I said that I love that movie, and he was like, "My man, you're in a small demographic because there's not that many people that actually love that movie, but in turn, I like that movie myself." And he told me this story that his character in the movie is carrying around a briefcase that's handcuffed to his hand. And David Lynch liked it so much that he actually wrote a part for him in Twin Peaks. So that just upped that actor's game, because anyone that gets to work with David Lynch is on another level. So the next person that I met, I had actually met before, but I wanted my kid to meet him, was the original Damien Thorne from The Omen, Harvey Stevens. Very nice guy, very well spoken. It was cool to show Zozo the Antichrist as an older man. She watched bits and pieces of The Omen. She made me shut it off, actually. She got a little scared, just like The Exorcist, which actually brings me to another photo op that's a little bit later. But the next photo op I did with her is, and I also did with my two friends, that's Chris Ott, and that's his girlfriend, Courtney. They run Monster Heel in London 1888, and he's also the one that did the design for this shirt. That's Ron Chaney. He is the grandson of the famous monster Lon Chaney, and he's reenacting the Phantom of the Opera. And like I said, if you look at that photo, it's so cool. Like the backdrop and everything, they make it like, that cool black and white and everything. And Zozo's, she's wearing her little costume, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. The next photo that I did was the two girls, Lydia and Olivia from The Exorcist Believer. They were also very, very cool. They really got a kick out of Zoe. They were talking and stuff, so I really am a fan of the new movie, although a lot of people do shit on it. I thought it was well executed, and like I said, the only eye rolls that came from me were the return of Ellen Bernstein and her role in the movie of Chris McNeil. But I feel like the two girls stole the show, and Leslie Odom, the father of Lydia's character, he was very good in the role, and I like the whole theme of the movie. And like I said last week, a lot of people put the Exorcist franchise up on this like pedestal, but if you really break it down, The Exorcist was the standout film. Part 2 sucked. It's unwatchable. And again, this is my opinion. Part 3 I like, but it really has nothing to do with The Exorcist. I think they just put like the connection at the end just to tie it in and get a sequel from it. And the two prequels are, nothing to be desired. But I feel like this is a good shot in the arm for that. And maybe now the franchise can get that push into the to next generation. They're doing it the right way. So the next two photo ops I did were Kane Hodder. This one was from Jason Goes to Hell. He put on that makeup. And he also did Part 7, which was the New Blood. And he dressed up as the zombie Jason for that photo op as well. So I did two of those. So that's that one is the Jason Goes to Hell, and the next one is the New Blood. And like I said, that Zozo was dressed as that character in the costume contest later on. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. The main event for this weekend was the Osbournes. So we met Sharon, Jack, Kelly, and of course Ozzy. The line was endless, but I had such a great moment with Ozzy Osbourne. I had met him before with Zozo's mom a couple of years ago, and I had a great 10 seconds. But this one was different. Like, he was taking his time with with us, and he was talking. And I came right out the bat, and I said, "Listen, Ozzy, I was a fan of yours when it wasn't cool to be a fan of yours. I was a young metalhead, and a lot of people looked at me as like a devil worshiper, and I would get hazed and like picked on for it. And this was at like a young age, and I try to tell my kid that, as long as you stay yourself, they can never take that away from you. And I got to say, once the Osbournes came out and they showed like the human side of you with your family, that was the game changer for you. As much as you had your legacy with Black Sabbath and your music, this made you a household name in a positive light. And he looks at me and he was like, listen, man, he's like, if it wasn't for the love of my family and my family behind me 100%, I would have been done a long time ago. And he started tearing up because he was like, he looks at Zozo and he looks at me dead in the eye and he was just like, just enjoy your time with your angel because I see that, you have that bond. He made me start tearing up because now Ozzy's like having a moment with me and I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is unbelievable. So Zozo ended up getting an 8x10 signed by him, and I had brought my tribute album, and I was like, listen, Ozzy, I love this version of Paranoid. I think it's the best one. And again, he was just like another zinger he gives me, and he goes, I've never listened to this album. After Randy died, I wanted to put a tribute for my friend, but it's heartbreaking to go back and listen to this record because this was the last show that we ever did together, and we wanted to immortalize it forever, and that's what they did. So I got that album signed, and it was a great moment. And the rest of the Osbournes are cool. They did the cool photo op with us, and I just want to say thank you, Ozzy, because the way that you said that to me about enjoying my angel and the way that you said that the love of your family got you through and you wouldn't be here for them is like how I feel about my kid, man, because like she, life kind of kicked me in the balls over the last couple of years and I just pressed on, and it was all because I didn't want to fall down from in front of my kid and make her think that it was going to get the best of me. And that's what I do. I do that every day, and she's the reason why I do everything the way that I do. So thanks, Ozzy, for that awesome moment. Now, again, I'm going to praise Zoe right now because she went in to this contest, and she was like, oh, yeah, I want to dress up like Ghostface, but I want to put a wig on, and I'm going to call myself Girlface. And I'm like, okay, Zozo. She wants to have fun. The kid's a ham like me. She loves getting the center of attention. She jumped up on stage and she proceeded to twerk in front of like 200 people in this room. And I'm just sitting there egging her on, laughing, filming it. And then there was like 20 people in the contest. And they come out and they're like, oh, yeah, all right, so we picked our winner. And it's the little Ghostface girl. And she won. And it was, again, it was just like this kid, man. Like, she came up with her own idea. She did her own thing. Like, she didn't need me. I was there for her. But, like, she's on the path. And she's doing what she wants to do. And I couldn't be proud of her. Like, just, it's so awesome. I get to share these moments with her. And, like, we bond over stuff. And it was just another memorable weekend. So, it was pretty awesome.
Get to the important part here. Did she win some cash? Is that what that picture is?
$500.
Come on, really?
She won $500. Can you imagine?
Holy crap.
So I told her, I'm like, listen, kid, you won $500. You owe me $100 because you met Ozzy. But no, she's going to Disney in like a week with her mother. So we ended up opening up a little savings account for her. We've had it already. So we threw $400 in there, let her take the $200 and go to Disney and have a good time, But yeah, it was pretty amazing, man. Like she won $500. And just she had the crowd going, and they were laughing and they were having a great time. So that was my weekend, and it was pretty awesome. So without any further ado, I did say I had special guests, and I'd love to bring them out right now so I could shut the fuck up and get what the main part of this podcast this weekend is about, and is to promote this awesome event. So I have Julia Fisher and I have Mr. Steve Beery from Mr. Beery's in the studio right now. So, guys, welcome. Thank you for being my guest this evening. So, yeah, we have a big event coming up at Mr. Beery's, and it's a pretty awesome event, and it's the brainchild of the lovely Julia next to me. She's the one that's been working hard at it, promoting. She did an awesome promo job. She did a recreation of This Is Halloween by Danny Elfman. That's from the Nightmare Before Christmas. So, hey guys, how you doing?
Hi,
Hello,
Nikki.
Nicholas.
Hi,
Papa.
Tony.
Hi, Tony. Very nice to meet you. Hi, guys. Thanks for having us on Primal Screen.
I didn't know you were
That's
going to
it.
let me back in the house, so I'm so happy. It's nice to be here, brother.
Well, that's why he didn't tell me in advance. I
And
was
with
like,
Nicky.
fuck no.
Nick, me and Nick together at last. He's like my son, this guy.
Yeah, he is.
I
This
can't-
is Papa.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Nick.
I love you,
So what
Steve.
are you asking Julia now?
I love that you actually connected me with him to start this.
Right? Yeah. No, it's you know what? There's a whole love fest going on right
Yeah,
now. I don't
yeah.
know
Love
why.
and love and
I don't know why we're
love
calling
and
this
love.
horror con. This is
this-
love.
this is-
Lovacon.
Well, we're horrible that we love each other, I guess. I don't know what to... I'm loving your podcast so far. It's really... Yeah, I love that. You know, it's all about Nick, and it's good. I don't do anything except for run that bar.
Yeah.
You know, that's my thing. And
But you do that good.
when
so.
I watch, you know what? I'm really passionate about that. When I hear guys like you that are so passionate about all the celebrity stuff and all the pictures and stuff,
Yeah.
it's so cool to listen to.
Thank you,
I
Steve.
want everybody out there to know. Good job, man. I'm really proud of you to have that podcast.
Well, you know what, man? Like I said about playing music and everything and giving me those places, you've given me a place to play my funny songs and everything for years, and it's a home. And I've always said to you that if anything ever decides to take off, I'm taking a lot of shit and just tossing it at the wall. Hopefully something sticks. But if anything ever musically like takes off, even movie-wise, I'm having my premiere at Beery's, man. That's where I want it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my place, man. Like you've made such a cool like venue that supports guys like me, and I
And
can't be
gals
more
like me.
appreciative. And girls like you. That's why we all connect.
Right.
And it's because of Papa. It's like a big cult.
You're so good.
I'm a cult guy.
Yeah, it's
Speaking
cool.
of cults, tell us about this horror con.
Yeah. What's up with this thing? It's coming up this weekend. So, Julia, what was your spearheading this thing? Like, what drove you to do this?
Okay, so my friends and I do this thing, where we watch movies all day on Saturday, and there isn't really like a huge turnout. It's basically 6 of us. And we were watching this movie called Strangest Dreams, Invasion of the Space Preachers, right? This is a Trauma movie, or it was picked up by Trauma. And one of my buddies, Steve Erickson, has the tendency to look up actors or actresses. And this one happened to look like a friend of his. So he looks her up, finds her Facebook. My buddy Bill decides to comment on her page. She responds immediately, and I said, "Yeah." And this is after like all of us have had a couple of drinks. Yeah, you know what I can do? I could get Liska Hahn to Mr. Beery's. I can do it. And I rolled it over for a week, and I talked to him about it. I thought about a reason to get her here, or to Mr. Beery's rather. And I had to have a reason. So HorrorCon was the reason. The way to coax her. So I said, hey, we've never done this before. Shot her a message on Facebook. And she responded within like a couple of hours. She was into it, put me in connection with her agent. And then the whole idea of HorrorCon just kind of started getting bigger and bigger from there.
Yeah.
The vendors, I'm like, okay, this is how we're going to like take care of the actors, whatever celebrity features that we have. In addition to Aliska Hahn, we actually do have Ron Milkey from the original Friday the 13th. He was Officer Dorf.
Yes.
which was just an add-on. I mean, Aliska's agent was just like, "Hey, here's this guy. Do you want him?"
It's pretty cool because, I mean, Friday 13th is a cult classic, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the original OG of the slashers. you
Right,
know?
right.
Julia puts on every Saturday. They call it Bad Movie Saturday, and for those people like you that have probably seen every one of these, the newbies like me come in every Saturday to watch some of the worst movies ever made, and some of them that is so off the rails that her and the Minions are there every week. And now, when I listening to you about horror stuff, we've learned it all now. We've watched every trauma film known.
That's
to man.
awesome.
Yeah. So she put this thing together with these guys, and it's all her. I just want to make that real clear that I have nothing to do with this promotion. This kid took this thing by the tail and put it all together.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's going to be a real special
I feel
day.
honored to put you guys put my name on it too. Like, she's doing all the work. Like, all I could was be there to try to guide. And
You
stuff.
helped me so much though in the beginning because I really had no idea where to start. With vendors and how things go. And I actually asked you, hey, is it okay for me to contact the celebrity before, planning anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you definitely helped a lot, and you connected a couple of vendors with my events. So with our events, you are my partner.
Thank you.
So the other cool thing that happened with thinking about HorrorCon for Mr. Beery's was I had a dream about my coworker, Kevin Mundy, who is an actor, and he is part of an actors collective. I had a dream that him and his co-actors were performing this weird version of Macbeth. It was kind of like a lucid dream. And the very next day I asked him, I'm like, would you want to be a part of HorrorCon? Maybe just do a couple of skits. So that's why
it took him a couple of minutes, seconds probably.
He was
to
like,
say
yeah, I'll
yes.
get something together. No
Yeah, of
problem.
course.
And it's going to be awesome. He told me everything
He's always
that's going
performing,
on. So
Kevin Mundy. When he's even at the bar, he's doing his thing,
I love that
That's
he's a
why I
part
love
of
that.
this.
I love the Kevins. They're a
He's a
great
little light
team.
on
We're
Loafers.
riddled with Kevins.
Yes, me. Give me a little post check on Tony over there. Tony, you all right?
See,
good, man.
you're like Julie. You're part of the day shift, so really
Mm-hmm.
that's why I didn't know of you that often. Maybe I ran into you when you're leaving. I'd come in a little bit too early for the night shift, but then it would. It was all
Probably
worked
during the
out.
changeover. Yeah,
Yes.
I just zip on out of
Yes.
there after my day shift.
Can we do a shameless plug? That's what I'm here for. I'm only
Yeah,
here for
yeah.
shameless plugs. But so Julie's got HorrorCon going on with now. Who else is involved in that with the vendors? Jules, who are they?
Oh, okay. So we do have Artist Duty. They are artists who have worked with Mr. Beery's before. They put on, they had their art exhibited, and they also had music in addition to that. And I have to say, Stephanie and her sister Marissa have been
Yes.
great on Facebook and
people.
Yeah,
for
they've been
marketing
plugging
on
in a
this
lot.
event.
You probably met them. They're real good.
Yeah, they're
people.
awesome.
Yes,
They work like
so,
animals.
So they're one of our vendors, but we also have a lot of different vendors, and it was amazing how the diversity that I had in this vision actually came to fruition. So we have horror artists, we have Italian cuisine, which you connected me with Christina.
Yeah, Christina, she eat cornicello.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
she's going to be doing some gourmet Italian food, sausage and peppers, some vegan options with pasta, some sweet stuff, and it's delicious. So I think that's going to be going over amazing.
You're gonna need fuel for this all day event too, because there's gonna be something for everyone.
Yeah,
So in addition to
yeah, because it's an all day. It kicks off 12 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happens at 12 noon.
That's pretty awesome.
So the other vendors that we actually have some horror apparel. So they're going to be doing T-shirts, mugs, hats. What else do we have? We have horror jewelry. We have a couple of psychic readers. One of them does oracle cards, and then another one does ruins.
Cool.
Everything horror themed. And, one of the amazing things about this event and what I'm interested to see is all of the artists connecting. So you've got the celebrities who are artists. You have the artists who are, part of the vendors. And then you have the actors that are part of spooky theater.
Right.
So let's talk about. Can I ask a question again? Because I'm shameless promoter guy. Shameless self promotion by Steve. I was just thinking for the other shameless plug here. After this party, so there's this big party going on during the day that Julie's put together with all the horror people, which you are a specialist and all of that stuff. But then at 8:00, the room changes to celebrate the birth of one of my favorite guys in the planet Earth's existence, Tom Bennett.
Yep.
The jukebox king.
He is.
The warrior of the jukebox. He will be there, and it's just who's playing in that one? You're playing it?
Yeah, Death Proof is playing. Well, the band formerly known as Death Proof, who also moonlighted as Planet Terror, and we also played a show once as Norma and Master Bates. But we're going to rename ourselves that evening. We still haven't named ourselves, but that's what we usually do. We play like once or twice a year. That's my friend Howie on drums and John on guitar he's in Wrecked. So we're doing that. Cover Me Bad's going to be playing, and they're amazing. They're a fun gig. You know, they put the mic out, so if you got people that show up that are into singing with the band, they have like a whole punk rock karaoke thing going on with them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then there's I think there's two other bands. I can't recall the name.
I'm unprepared, but I know I know it's two of Bennett's pals. I think there's a couple acoustic guys.
Yeah, there's acoustic.
Yeah. So he's got some tricks up his sleeve that he's been waiting to unleash.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Like when Julia was, because my month of October is totally fucked. Like I'm always busy with either conventions or I'm doing Schmidt's Farm, and I knew this weekend I had available on that Saturday, and I knew it was at night, and she was talking about a day thing, so I'm like, we should just make the ultimate event and put these two things together because it's a perfect marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Because talk about trauma, Tom Bennett is from Traumaville because he used to work for them.
I remember we talked about that actually before I got on the phone with you.
Again, shamelessly plugging Tom Bennett.
Yeah.
He gave me the other day, a couple of weeks ago, he gave me a Russ Myers collection on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know where he found it, but I know this, that I have yet to find my Blu-ray player, but I'm going to sit down and binge that whole table.
Yeah.
It's like days.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm just a huge, like, my bad movie Saturdays usually revolve around female prison movies. I love that.
Reform School Girls?
Yeah, Reform.
Whenever we ask Steve, what do you want to watch? Female prison movies!
Anything with Pam Grier. I'm like the...
Coffee.
Coffee. And with was it The Big Bird Cage? Those are the things
those are great flicks.
I remember when we watched that.
The blaxploitation films.
Yeah, I like them all.
Yeah,
so
No,
I'm learning about, I remember going to Halloween dressed as the Toxic Avenger. That's when I learned about trauma. That's when that was the first movie I saw by him, and I thought it was great. So
Pam Grier was at a Chiller Theater once. I met her,
right.
And what she had on her table was a stack of 45s, and she just as cool on screen, if not cooler in person. She was like, "Okay, so what we'll do is you get a signature, and I give you a free 45, and I sign it for you. And it's just the luck of the draw, sugar." And she picks out one.
Nice.
And I think, like, the one that I got was, like, I don't even know. It was, like, it wasn't Diana Ross and the Supremes. It was, like, a girl group, not the Ronettes, but in that era. And she signed it, it was pretty cool.
Gee whiz,
from her
okay.
own personal, it was from her own personal collection. So I thought that was awesome. She was very, very nice, and she's still great. Pam Grier is like one of those women. 90 years old, she's gonna look great.
You look like Pam Grier.
Yeah, absolutely. So now going back to when I was praising Mr. Beery's, how did this whole bar thing come to life back in the day? Like, I know part of the story, but I'm going to let the man answer for himself.
All right, so I worked in that building. It was called the Peacock Lounge. I worked for Jack Frost and Bob McElroy, and I was there since from '84. I got to that place, and so it'll be 40 years in that building this 4th of July. I took the job there, and they decided to, go separate ways back in in like 1991. Left me, so I was out of the business now, and my dad, who I didn't think ever wanted anything to do with me, as far as business wise, it's kind of a screw up, and he said, "I know you're looking for a bar. Why don't we go in as partners?" And probably the best moment of my life to have that guy standing in my corner and say, "We're going to go into business together." And unfortunately, I lost him 8 months after that. But our original premise of the business was that we would go do it for 8 years and split, but we were going to do original music. That was our deal. Like if you came to the bar, you had to play 50% originals. Couldn't just come in there and be a cover band. And that's the original format to get to where we are today.
You stuck with it.
Yeah, you know what? Nobody really you can't do it. It's impossible. So the fact that we're the only guys left that even attempt it, there's some guys out there that are still trying, but you got to throw the crowd some red meat once in a while. And
oh, absolutely. I mean, Demon Scar, we play covers here. We have to.
If you don't teach that to the guys that come in, like, you need some covers to keep everyone's interest, but you got to sell your own product. So for me, that's the whole game. And we had Mud the Otter in there the other day. They were been playing this since they were kids. Now they're adults with children and can sneak out once a year. That kind of stuff. They came in and they were so off the rails. I just forgot how great they were. But no cover tunes.
All originals.
Just all original stuff. Blew me away. The guys that would have played on Saturday night came from Portland, Oregon.
Really?
Dude, I can't even explain to you how good they were. It was like it's Scappository, and I forget what Doyle's newest project was called, but it was Jimmy Doyle.
Yeah.
The world famous,
right,
ex-employee of mine, but him, the Scappository guys, and this band called Bandulas, and holy crow, they was insane, just great.
That's awesome.
Timely stuff, different, but like you heard it. So I'm getting to see some real miracles in the place with original music.
Some of what's the best nights for me when I was in there, I would try to incorporate a cover band with an original band, because then you could have the best of both worlds.
The balance.
Right. I like when I get someone like Demon. I'll use Demon Scar as my example. Like, you'll come up, there's some Demon Scar songs, there's a Judas Priest number, there's some red meat to throw the crowd in the middle of that. So if you didn't understand your work yet, because now it's filtered in with, it came right before the Ozzy song or something. Now it's working. They get it. So I didn't shove it all down your throat, but here's a little mix for you.
Yeah. No, when we first started, we were playing half and half. Like, we were playing 50% covers and 50 originals, and then we started writing newer stuff, and we had to take some of the covers away and add in other stuff, but you still got to leave some covers in there.
But what you did effectively was the right formula, where you come in and get people to hear your songs till they know. Like Jones Crusher. When you hear them, everybody knows all the words. I've been playing them for so long, but you know all the words of the songs.
Because how long have they been playing for?
Right, they've been playing it for 25 years.
Yeah,
so
right.
The audience at Mr. Beers knows their material. Finely balanced.
And they're a bunch of the coolest fucking guys ever.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with those guys.
The guys that have been there, the guys that have been there the whole ride, we know their songs because they're there.
Yeah.
Not just because of... Did you notice that me and you were dressed the same, here, buddy?
It's because you're my papa. I know.
It's like we got
we didn't even communicate.
Yeah, we got a thing, man.
No, it is, man. We vibe. We vibe hard.
There's something about it. Tony, I was just pulse check.
To me, it's nothing but gay.
Is that why you're so quiet? It's too gay for you?
It's his show, baby. I just let him roll, baby. I do enough talking on my own show. You know that. Actually, except when he's in. Then he can do all the talking.
He lets me ramble. He's a good man.
I do have a funny story, though. Back when Death Proof played our first show at the club, my guitarist originally was banned from Beery's, but he came in with me, and I went up to Steve and I said, listen, can we get him off the ban list? He's with me. He's changed his ways. And he's like, what did he do? And seriously, my guitarist was in a fight inside Mr. Beery's once, and he did not start it, but he was part of the cops came and everything, and he was part of the whole thing. So he unfortunately was a casualty of war and got thrown out of the bar for a few. But then Steve lifted the ban, and it's been gravy ever since.
He must have done something.
That's what I'm saying.
It takes a lot to get kicked out, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck do you got to do? I mean, obviously, if you're a dick and you deserve to get kicked out or whatever, but like...
Yeah, we'll forgive you for anything but being a dick.
Right.
That's really...
That's basically it,
that's
right?
it, man. So you can... we get it. You pissed yourself. You fell off a stool. You sassed somebody. That's all tomorrow. It's when you misbehave and disrupt the harmony of a That's the only. That's when you got to go.
Yeah, you got to go. There's no forgiveness.
There's a pretty good vibe in that place. There was people in there last night that came in that was just like, this place has the best vibe. Because that's really the moniker. Don't be a dick.
Everybody does say that, though, even during my day shifts, which is kind of a slower pace than the night shifts.
Yeah.
But everybody talks about the atmosphere, and everybody talks about, and I can even say that after being a bartender in a variety of places for 17 years. Mr. Beery's has a very special atmosphere about it. And one thing I could say is it's very easy to get along with your neighbors and companions at Mr. Beery's.
Yeah.
How long you been working there, Julia?
Let's see. As of August 15th this year, it would be 4 years. 4 years.
4 years?
A little over 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you've been doing this, though, for 17?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I've worked in bars like Mr. Beery's, but not quite like Mr. Beery's.
Nothing is like
No,
Mr. Beery's.
he is a great captain of the ship. Again, I think that, that's part of why we have this great vibe that everybody talks about at Mr. Beery's. My friends come all the way from Glen Cove to come see me, and I'm always shocked. And it really is just because they love the atmosphere, everything that's going on in the Cataclysm.
And you guys are young, man, because, you what, 89 you opened? And I'm older, so I remember, I remember, like, going back to the early 90s and just hearing that, like, that was the place.
Yeah.
And even with the bands, too, that was the place to go see the original local
We're really
bands.
old, Tony.
We are, absolutely. Falling apart.
It's great, too, like, the connection, like you said, like, it's, like, from an older generation, but the connection that I've had with some of my bosses through the years. And they're like, oh, yeah, you go out, where do you go? Oh, I go to Mr. Beery's. I go there all the time. Oh, I could tell you stories. Like, do they still open up at 8 o'clock in the morning? I'm like,
everybody's got a story about it. It's 10 a.m. now, by the way.
It's 10 a.m.
Well, we'd like to change that. We got to find the guy.
Yeah.
I just found a bunch of photographs. Well, Steve Erickson found them because that's what he does. Found a box of photographs, and one of them's with my kid in there, and he's in the bar, but he's like getting held by random customer number X, so I can't tell because there's goo on top of the picture, but I know it's him in the bar. Like, holy cow.
And now he's there.
Now he's tending bar,
That's so awesome. Yeah, anytime somebody from like out of town or whatever, they come like, oh, I want to hang out. Where do you want to go? Like, I just want something like chill, low key. All right, well, I can't guarantee it, but I can bring you to a cool place.
And music.
And music, and it's entertainment, and it's always going to, it's always going to be a special place for me. And I'm so happy that HorrorCon is starting here, because I feel like I know this is going to be a success. You know, I can already see HorrorCon 2 coming.
How hard she worked on this. I don't know if anyone's out there in Governor's Land that has seen the Facebook video that they put together.
It's awesome.
Her and Aaron and a whole group of customers came in, got dressed up, did this great video. It's off the rails, and we get a lot of comments on that. It's been
Not only is the video good, but if you listen to the words, Julia rewrote "This Is Halloween" to match the song in like connection with this event.
I literally thought of the lyrics while driving in my car.
Yeah,
And then just elaborated on them.
so when they sue you, it'll be you, not me.
Oh, yeah, no.
It was Julia. You guys heard me
Come
giving
at
a
me,
breakdown.
bro.
You know what it's going
Come at me, bro. That's fine. It's not him. It's me.
Do you know what? There's a funny thing, like you said about getting sued. My friend got a cease and desist letter from Danzig for copyright infringement, and he wasn't pissed about it. It's actually framed in his office. He was like, "That's a highlight of my life. If I was on Danzig's radar, you know, like that's awesome. You know,
Oh, a girl can only dream.
right? Exactly. I could only dream about that. And I feel like you made it for the song for "This Is Halloween." There's 2 copyrights involved. Now, Danny Elfman's one of them, which isn't so bad to get the rights from him, but you got to go through the big boys with Disney for that shit. So even with Demon Scar, we redid "This Is Halloween," but what we did was we did it to the tune of Rock and Roll High School Rock and Roll Radio from the Ramones, and the lyrics to "This Is Halloween," and we changed it up, but we couldn't get the rights from Disney, so we had to put it as like a hidden song.
Right. I mean, you know, for this event, I've done this for other bars before where I have done promotional films, and it's literally just gathering the patrons together to do something silly, you know, nothing really serious. I've never really written a song before, but I figured, you know, it's not really supposed to be a serious thing. Like, I'm not trying to make money off of this song.
No.
I'm trying to get people
We
to
got
come
the
to
goods
this event.
behind the song. You
I
know?
want people to see, you know, again, talking about the atmosphere of Mr. Beery's, I want people to feel and sing along to the atmosphere that's going to be at HorrorCon on October 21st.
Imagine the Julia Fisher. This, what is it?
The experience.
Behind the music.
Yeah.
This is Behind the Music, the Mr. Beery's theme song.
Listen, I'm going to have a theme song for everything if you keep letting me do this.
Well, see how it goes. It looks like you did Aaron did a great job. Aaron Harris works for us too. He did a killer job on cutting this thing up. I can't say enough good things about it.
Is he the one that does the website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, no, that's who does the website. Ed's doing it now, and
okay.
Yeah, but
Aaron's been taking over, doing a whole bunch of doing the promotional stuff.
Aaron was
Good.
great with this, with the promo film for HorrorCon. I had no idea where to go, you know, with you know, splicing up the parts of the film and also doing the audio. And you know, one night I'm in the basement, and I'm doing like my paperwork or closing my shift. He pulls out this microphone. And I'm like, are we recording? Are we actually singing this song right now? He's like, yeah. So we just spent the night in this hot basement singing the song, and he's actually a musician too, so he's actually good at singing. And he did all the editing for the audio, all the editing for the film.
That's what you need.
He's brilliant. He's great.
You definitely need someone that's like, you know, computer savvy with stuff. Like for this whole podcast, that's why I come here for Tony, because there's no way that I'd be able to do the podcast with the pictures and all this shit.
Right,
And
God
the cool
bless.
intro thing.
And
you
I
know.
have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do. Well, you're doing it definitely
We
better than I
need
am.
people
bro.
like you who don't know what they're doing. We need people like you.
I'm like a computer idiot, though. I don't know anything about it. And even like when you send me, I got to give a shout out to another guy behind the curtain. When you send me the file, I don't even know how to upload that stuff. I have to give it to my. That's why I have it sent to the Demon Scar thing, because Meds, my guitarist, the man who does like all my social media and stuff. I mean, I know how to type, and like, you know, but that's
I
about
use
it.
my thumbs.
Right?
that's why you do a podcast, because you can't type.
Right. I could talk a great game. You know, I could probably sell a lot of shit, but I mean, I just can't. I don't know. I wish I just had like a camera crew following me around the whole fucking.
That's why
all day.
teams matter, though. I mean, I had so much help with this whole event. You know, it wasn't just me doing everything. You know, it was everybody helping me too with the promo film. You know, the sponsors. We actually have Barrier Brewery and Boning sponsoring us, so that's pretty cool. You know, they're donating some cool stuff. You know, but also people like yourself who actually have experience. I've never even been to a con. It was literally just an idea that just came into my head, and people like you helped me. My friends have been helping me a lot with promoting this.
I'm psyched. You
yeah.
know, I'm very excited.
Well, it's this Saturday, right? This
This
is
Saturday.
It.
Yeah.
This is it.
This
This
is
is
the
it, man.
kickoff.
This
is
is
it.
the big one.
This is
is the one.
HorrorCon. Everybody party on.
And the weather looks good.
The
right?
yeah,
The weather's
totally.
supposed to stop raining about 10 o'clock in the morning, I
That's
think.
perfect, just in time.
And, you know, it starts at 12. We're going to have vendors inside, outside. And like we said, you know, it's going to be an all-day event.
Yeah, even if, I mean, the weather's not going to really stop this event. You know,
No.
everything's
No way.
happening anyway.
If the pandemic couldn't shut us down, nothing will.
That's right.
The old pandemical.
That was a trip, huh?
It's amazing that the places that did falter for the pandemic did. And those are the mills that were pumping in, like, all the, you know, the cover bands and all that other shit. But places like Mr. Beery's, who have their clientele that are loyal, stay stuck around.
Yeah.
Loyalty from the clientele and also creativity.
Yes, Julia, you are creative.
No, you. I'm so pointing to you.
I thought you pointed to you.
No, I was pointing to you. Oh, I mean, sure, me too. No, but remember with the tables, how we like organized the tables?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you're doing a fine job. I don't want to step in this one. I just want you and Nikki to be.
I mean, I'm a genius. I already know that.
Yeah, I just want you guys
I want you to get
basking
some
in this
credit,
one.
too.
I had nothing to do with this. I want to. They just kind of left me out. This is it. This is the first thing I
You're
get to do.
giving us
for-
the venue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big deal. No one has me to dress up and stuff. Oh, I
You
did
can dress up. You
Oh,
can
yeah,
Yes,
I
you
did.
did.
Oh,
You
yeah, I
were the
did.
beery soul.
Oh yeah.
You're the
Wait
beery
a minute.
king.
You're in the video.
Oh yeah. Okay. So,
You're the Pumpkin King.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
You're the beery king.
Oh,
Just don't go disappearing into Christmas land before this thing kicks off,
no.
right?
Right.
This should be a big comeback.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm
You
really
good?
good now. It was a little weird there for the past couple of months, but I'm starting to spring back now. And it's I go down to the beach every day. I do a little walk, you know, and now I can walk a little further and stretch a little more. So I lost 50 pounds, which I hate.
But you're getting your color back, which is good.
Dude, that was a little. Yeah, that was a. I should have left. I should have stayed that color for HorrorCon, but
No,
yeah.
it's good to see you looking like yourself. You know what? You texted Monday. You know, we're not going to get into detail, but you texted Monday and you said, "I'll be back, and make sure you tell Nick Graystone that when I come back, we're going to be cranking some Judas Priest." And to think that you thought of me in the time of what you were going through, thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. It was awesome. We're going to take a little music break right now. I'm going to put on a band. This is actually a band that's going to be featured this weekend. And like you said, it's nothing worse, better than self-promotion. This is Death Proof, and we're going to keep with the theme of HorrorCon. This is an old number. It's called Zombie Love, and we'll talk a little bit about it when we come back. So without any further ado, here is Zombie Love by Death Proof featuring Greg Gavitt.
Baby, I'm feeling so blue. I ain't got no pulse, yet I feel
All right, guys. Well, that was Death Proof with Zombie Love, and and I got to I was still playing. Sorry about that. Thought we were going to go into another song. We're not. But we recorded that back in 2013. That's John Castiglia on guitar and backing vocals, Howard Core on drums, and yours truly on bass and vocals. And we recorded that at Center Stage Music with the. I feel like Greg Gavitt should have his own portion of this show. He should be a sponsor of mine because I keep on playing stuff that we recorded at his studio, whether it's me or Wrecked or last week the new Rochelle's. But he just does a great job, and it's perfect for the price. So anyone's out there that wants to record, just go to find Center Stage Music in Belmore. Ask for Greg. You can even say that I referred him to whatever, you can drop my name. Whatever the fuck I was just about to say. You can mention my name. He may charge you a little bit more, but still, it's okay.
Promo code Nick Stammers.
Use right, exactly. 20% upcharge if you use the last name of Graystone. So yes, again, this Saturday, October 21st, 12 p.m. kickoff, HorrorCon, Mr. Beery's. It's going to be awesome. So again, we have Aliska Hahn from
Strangest Dreams, Invasion of the Space Preachers, and Ron Milkey from the very first Friday the 13th.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
And you said you have a couple more vendor. Did you want to talk about something?
Yeah.
Vendors, right?
So I think I mentioned before, we have a lot of different artists who are coming to this event, and a lot of these artists are doing this type of horror art for the first time. For example, I have one of my vendors is named Sophie Fiorno. Just double checking that. Yep. Sophia Fiorno. So she does henna, but she's going to do henna horror themed. We also have somebody who does face painting, and she just got into it. Her name is
No hand jobs.
But a Dutch. Normal face painting, like innocent horror movie themed face painting. That's with Stephanie Workman. She's coming in it during the nighttime, and and again, talking about
she's a face painter.
Yeah, she does like horror themed face painting, so she can make you look like a zombie or make you look like a witch. I think that's
Stephanie.
Stephanie Workman.
I'm
is
looking
her
for
name.
you, Stephanie. I'm putting you to work.
Yeah, so she'll be in during the night shift, probably
Cool.
after 5 p.m.
Nice.
And again, we have like different types of psychics. So we have Jessica, who actually did a ladies club thing for us at Mr. Beery's, where she guided the ladies on the art, but also gave them psychic readings via ruins. So she's going to be one of the features. Stephanie and Marissa Geramido. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. But so Artist Duty Collective, we've actually had them at Mr. Beery's before. They are doing horror art for the first time as far as I know. And and then the horror apparel. So we call him his name is Oliver. He's doing this with his partner Sean. And he is also doing horror apparel for the very first time, him and his partner. And we were actually spitting off ideas just a couple days ago. Again, really excited to see all of these artists meet and collaborate. And they'll meet the celebrities and talk to them. And they'll meet, Monday's theater group and talk to them. And everybody can work together.
Yeah.
You said different kind of psychics. How many different kind of psychics are there?
Well, we got Jen Winters, who's doing oracle readings. So that's not necessarily the same thing as Jess. She's doing ruin readings. So, depending what your flavor is during the day, you could go see either one of them.
All right. I had no idea that Jen was going to be involved.
She's basically taking over the station for Stephanie Workman, who's doing the face painting, but she's doing it during the day.
All right, more Beery alumni working. That's cool.
Yeah.
My ex is coming. She's going to be selling stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because divorce works sometimes.
Yeah, it
And we could
seems
be in
to
the
be
same,
you two.
right?
What's Johnny's name again? I forgot.
Sarah.
Sarah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, she's coming with her fiance, and they're going to sell some candles and stuff, and I believe some. I think he's like bringing some like taxidermy stuff. Nice. I don't know.
He's definitely bringing some sort of horror paraphernalia.
Yeah, and then he's got some of his like old like. He's got some old collectibles and stuff. I'm gonna bring some stuff to sell. I got some like posters and DVDs and T-shirts. Dude, I have like a storage unit just to give you an idea. So today I was looking for some posters to bring, and I'm going through it, and I'm just like rifling through some stuff. And I'm looking, and I'm like, holy shit, this is signed by George Romero. I didn't even realize I had a George Romero poster signed, a Creepshow poster. I'm not going to bring it to the event, but, like, just the stuff that I could find. I'm only scratching the surface with some of the stuff that I'm going to bring, but I got a bunch of, like, old school, like, memorabilia that I'm going to bring and stuff. And there's also going to be raffle baskets, right?
Yes, there are going to be raffle baskets.
50-50?
I don't know. You want to do a 50-50?
Yeah, we can do that.
I think we should do
All right,
a 50-50.
we're going to do a 50-50.
Yeah, right? It's good stuff.
Yeah, we'll have a few raffle baskets. Some of the artists, from the vendors are going to be donating some of their pieces. So, yeah, that should be pretty cool.
Cool. That's awesome. All right, yeah, we're looking forward to this thing. You know what's going to be funny right now? Watch this. Hey, I'm doing my podcast right now, Ma. I'll call you back in a little bit. That's all right. You're on live right now. You want me to say anything to these people? Are you sure? I'll put you on speaker. Yeah. Say something.
No, I just wanted to say if you were okay.
Oh yes, I'm okay because I'm 46 years old and I'm still calling. I'm still talking to my mama, but that's okay because I love Mama Rosie.
Mamas are so important.
It makes me feel important. So
yeah,
Okay.
All this shit's your fault though, Ma, because I'm into all this horror stuff.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry for it.
No, don't be sorry.
good job, Nick's mom.
You'll be okay.
I know I'm okay. I know.
You'll be okay.
You already made it in my eyes.
Thank you, Mama.
That's
See?
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama Rosie. So there you go. That's why we always say fuck you to Rosie O'Donnell, because she didn't take your cannolis on this show. So, all right. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye. All right. So, yeah, that's the world famous Mama Rosie. So, yes, exactly. This Saturday, kickoff at 12 p.m.
I'm so happy that your daughter is joining us, by the way, right?
She is. She's actually making some art. Yeah, she's going to do sit at the table with me and her mom. And she's all excited. She's like drawing up some stuff, and she's hopefully, she's like, I want to sell some of my stuff, Daddy. I'm like,
so she's feverishly working too.
Want. Yeah, she's excited.
Very cool.
So yeah. Be there or be square. You can buy tickets in advance up until what, Friday?
No, you could buy them probably up until Saturday. I mean, right up until you get to the door. The only difference is $5. So if you get them online, they're $15. At the door, it's $20, and that gets you access to all the vendors, the celebrity features, and the horror skits being performed live, and Tom Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you can hang out with me, and that's part of the 20s. So
right,
cool.
right. He's part of the features in HorrorCon, too. The Nicholas.
Thank you, Ghoulie. I appreciate it. All right, so, right? Guys, I really do appreciate you coming on tonight. This was awesome. I love having guests because then it kind of like, I don't have to drive the boat as much. I can, like, steer it your way, and then you can take the reins for a little bit.
Yeah, we're sailing.
Yeah, we're sailing. Look at me.
I'm sailing.
So awesome. All right, so I don't have to do my plug for Mr. Beery's because I dedicated this whole episode to Mr. Beery's, but I want to thank Mr. Beery for being a sponsor for the Primal Scream podcast. So thank you, sir.
Primal Scream.
Primal Scream and Shout.
Primal Scream.
I'd also like to thank Cloud 8 Delta 8 for being another sponsor for mine. Something wicked this way comes. Join our boo crew and hop aboard Cloud 8's Ghost Train Haze. Combining citrus and pine, Ghost Train Haze will amp up your Halloween spirit. There's also a Zombie OG enriched with blackberry and lavender, so Cloud 8 Zombie OG is sure to light you up like a jack-o'-lantern this season. See all their flavors on display, and they also have a new one, Diablo OG Delta 8 THC vape. cartridge, experience this transcendent effect that will transport you to the new realms of relaxation and bliss. So indulge in the herbal and peppery flavors that are a unique twist to your vaping experience. It's also used for medicinal purposes, and if you go on there and use the code Primal10, you get 10% off of your order. So that about wraps it up. I am Nick Graystone, and you're not, and this has been another episode of Primal Scream. See you later.
Thank you for listening to Primal Scream. I'm Nick Graystone, aka The Nizza. Each week, Primal Scream is produced by Tony Walker and executive produced by Demon Scar. Always remember, nobody writes your story but you. Later.